16 principles for setting boundaries. Number 1, do not rely on the actions of others for your happiness. Your happiness is your job, not your spouse's job. If your spouse has to say or do certain things in order for you to be okay inside, or they have to avoid saying or doing certain things in order for you to be okay inside, you're screwed. Number 2, it's important to remember that your spouse is not failing you. They're simply taking care of their own fears and anxiety, worries, and concerns. Number 3, when you give all that you have and then you expect others to do the same, you're going to chronically be disappointed. Number 4, you may have gotten your spouse so used to having everything done for him or her that they take you for granted. Number 5, if you're always giving to your spouse, don't be surprised if they come to expect it and take advantage of your generosity. Which takes us to number 6. If you're doing all the relationship work, the problem you will face in this case is undervaluing yourself. If you don't value yourself, it's highly unlikely that your spouse is going to encourage you to think more about yourself. Number 7, if boundaries are not set, your spouse may view you as weak and easily controlled, which leads us to number 8. This may lead your spouse to shift his or her responsibilities onto you, knowing that you're unlikely to refuse because you're always ready to help. Which leads us to number 9. As soon as you start using the word no, your spouse may begin to respect you more. Number 10. While it may seem that always being available to help your spouse establishes yourself as someone who's virtuous, someone who is a great asset in the marriage, it can actually lead you to being taken for granted. Number 11. Taking care of yourself is a fundamental factor in achieving comfort before offering comfort to others. It's important to feel satisfied, whole, and cared for before extending that love to others. Care for yourself, love yourself first, then others second. Number 12. If you dedicate all your time to the priorities of your spouse, your own priorities will be trampled upon. 13. Of course, it's important to help others, but setting boundaries is crucial to being accountable. It's not uncommon for a spouse who takes you for granted to only approach you when he or she needs something or needs a favor. Number 14. Establishing healthy boundaries is like building a protective fence for your well-being and the integrity of your spirit. Your boundaries play a vital role in your life, serving as a clear border between what's acceptable and what's not. Personal boundaries define where you end and your spouse begins. Number 15. Building healthy boundaries protects your mental health, your physical well-being, and the integrity of your spirit. And lastly, number 16. Those who pass through your life are often attracted by the energy you exude. In other words, if you exude negativity, you will ultimately attract negative people and pessimists. If you exude a vibration of lack of confidence, you will attract other people who lack confidence. So these are the 16 principles for setting boundaries.